Welcome to the Scratch Golfer's Mindset Podcast. My name is Paul Salter, and I'm a triple-digit golfer on a quest to become a scratch golfer. I'm also a high-performance mindset coach and credentialed hypnotherapist with 15 years of experience helping high performers from all walks of life get unstuck and unlock their full potential. Join me each week as I not only detail my journey, but make mastering the mental game of golf simple, tangible, and relatable so that you can overcome the mental hazards keeping you stuck in the proverbial bunker of poor performance. Hey, fellow golfer. Welcome back to another episode of the Scratch Golfer's Mindset Podcast. I'm your host, Paul Salter, the golf hypnotherapist, and I'm looking forward to sharing a handful, 3, maybe 4 specific points with you today, as I'm now a week removed from shooting a new lifetime low and, in my opinion, passing the litmus test. Like, can I play? Have I actually made progress the past couple of months by finally achieving my goal of breaking 90, scoring an 87 at Heritage Isles just last Monday, pre-hurricane? Such a neat experience. And I've had a lot more time to dwell on this achievement. To be frank, in last week's Journey to Scratch episode, it hadn't quite set in yet. I was a bit rushed and maybe even unclear and discombobulated in both my thoughts and my feelings around the achievement. But now, a week later, time has passed, emotions, feelings have settled, and a new goal is already crystallized. So we're going to dig into a few key points that I think will benefit you immensely when it comes to helping you continue to see, feel, and experience progress on your journey to achieving whatever your respective golf goal is. Before I do that, though, just a quick shout out to a client and friend of mine who has crossed the age of 70 and is still open, willing, and courageous enough to do the deep work on himself to become the best golfer he can, as well as the best husband, father, grandfather. The list goes on and on, the best version of himself as he can. And when I first met this gentleman, he was consistently shooting low 90s, would occasionally score an 87, 88. Just last week had his lifetime low of an 82. And I attribute to that his courage and commitment to navigating some of the uncomfortable work we've done that have been completely unrelated to the game of golf, yet ultimately freed him up, enabling him to step onto the golf course, not only with more ease, more lightness, more freedom, but more trust, confidence, and belief. So big shout out to him. New lifetime low for him. Again, at the age of 70, further reinforcing age is just a number. It's never too late to start, never too late to make yourself a priority as you go after your goals. And on that note, as we've turned up the dial of confidence in that particular client's life, I want to talk about confidence in my journey. To be frank, as I alluded to moments ago, I feel like achieving this goal of breaking 90 was a litmus test. I have proven to myself, and maybe even to some of you, I can play this game. I can string together the appropriate technique, focus, concentration, and execution consistently enough to post a respectable score. And for me, this is huge because my long-term goal is to become a scratch golfer and to hoist the trophy of my club championship. If that is all I were to continue focusing on at this stage in my journey, well, it would be a recipe for chronic frustration and mental and emotional exhaustion. What achieving this short-term goal has done for me has exponentially boosted my confidence in my swing, in respective clubs, ability to score on holes at different courses, and just in my golf game in general, my confidence is next level. And that has afforded me to be able to show up to my practice sessions with a sense of ease, a sense of neutrality, a sense of stronger emotional resiliency, which thus far has transferred as present, intentional, composed practice sessions that are productive, short, sweet, highly efficient, highly effective practice sessions. Achieving this short-term goal has simply boosted my confidence. And the reason I bring this point up is because I've hammered periodically to date the importance of having short-term goals. Because the number one factor, maybe I shouldn't say number one of the strongest factors in maintaining motivation and commitment to goal attainment is progress, or the perception of progress. So having been stuck shooting in the 90s and even in the low 100s for a period of time, this gradual trend downward, 96, 95, 94, 92, and then an 87, I am seeing, feeling, and experiencing progress across multiple metrics. This progress has strengthened my motivation, has reinforced my commitment, because I know to be true with absolute certainty that there has been a monumental payoff from the work, time, and effort I've been putting in. Hiring a coach, taking time for 2-hour lessons, putting time on the range, on the putting green, in the swing net in my backyard. This has paid off, and I have tangible proof, data to back up that claim. And that just further strengthens my confidence. But what's really interesting here is we unpack the topic of confidence even further. Confidence, we can unpack this further to really be deep belief based on prior or past evidence. And for me, if you look at the handful of last scores I've had, and just even irrespective of the score for a minute, just my process, the ability I've shown up with, it's all trending in the right direction. A lot of positive takeaways. So confidence is bolstered by this deep belief based on past evidence. So here's the challenge that you and myself at times absolutely face around this theme of confidence, is our subconscious is hardwired to scan our environment for negatives, for the bad, the ugly, the red flags, and the threats. So it's very easy to get hooked on a downward spiral of negativity. It's very easy when we're standing over that makeable 3-foot putt that we've executed hundreds and hundreds of times to quickly find ourselves wandering to and latching on to the handful of times we've missed these putts, specifically maybe missing these putts in moments that we needed them more than ever. So again, if we move forward with this assumption that confidence is rooted in a deep belief based on past or prior experience, it reinforces the need to consciously cultivate, to consciously command confidence on demand by continuing to focus on all of the positives, the aspects of your game that are going well, working well, trending, or that you're grateful you've seen, felt, or experienced progress in. You have to make the time on the course and away from the course to train the skill of finding and connecting with the positives, the indicators of progress. So for you, what does this look like? First and foremost, away from the course, it is some time of gratitude, mindfulness, or positivity and presence practice. For me, I have a gratitude practice of writing 5 things I'm grateful for down every single morning to begin my day, because it's just an act of training my brain to find the positives in my life. But more importantly to that, it's bringing this emotional attachment to all of the good things you do, both during a practice session and during a round, to reinforce that feeling. You hit a couple really good shots during practice or on the round. Hold that follow through. Pause for a moment. Allow yourself to truly feel the sensation, feel the body positioning, the fluidity of that swing, and take a moment to reinforce. This is easy. This is normal. This is what I do. I can't tell you how many times I've done that in my practice sessions. The way to think about it is creating a sense or a state of awe at a practice swing or shot, at a shot on the golf course. Creating that sense of awe helps to continue to cultivate this sense of positivity, this feel good, which bolsters a deep belief and confidence in yourself. So a note on confidence there for you that I hope you find value and will take to the course and away from the course to make it easier for you to cultivate confidence on demand. The other aspect, which I have an imagination you are already doing, but shouldn't be overlooked, is you're tracking your stats. Whether you're using an app to log them, I use the Grint and I have some stuff in some Google Sheets as well. But track your stats. See your improvement over time based on fairways, greens, putts, OB, whatever other metric you need to track, number of anyway shots. Have something tangible, quantitative, that even on your worst days, you're not feeling your best, you have an ability to look and see, oh, there has been progress. Because again, progress is not linear. There will be plenty of moments of frustration. I mean, let's be frank. My score has trended downward quite significantly the last 6 months. And I have had some hellish, dark, frustrating moments along the way. It's part of the process. Having this objective data helps to lessen the emotional charge during some of those negative moments to keep you grounded, to keep you neutral, or at least in a place of indifference where you can calmly move forward to focus on the next shot, the next practice round, or actual round at hand. Now, another hidden benefit of consistently monitoring, tracking your stats is based on the concept, and there's a wonderful book by this exact same name I can't recommend enough, the concept known as the gap and the gain. And the gap and the gain is a very simple concept. And in short, what it really means is that society has conditioned us to always look at how far we have to go. For me, I shot a new low of an 87, and I'm still 15 strokes off of shooting even par for a round. That can seem daunting. If I'm constantly looking at how far I have to go, I'm coming up short. There's always a gap between where I want to be and where I am. So what this book argues is rather than looking at how far you feel you still have to go, like again, I'm 15 strokes away. Instead, the way to look at progress is to look backwards at how far you've come, how much you have gained since 3, 6, 12 months ago. So, simple example, my first round in late April, about 6 months ago, I shot a 65 on 9 holes. And truth be told, there were a handful of mulligans and probably not every OB shot was counted there. It was an ugly round, to say the least. So even if we do some quick math and make it simple, a 65 is essentially shooting a 130. One could argue that I just took off 43 strokes the last 6 months. Look how much I've gained. And even if we set numbers aside, the ability to understand that I can proficiently and consistently swing a golf club and execute a shot I want is a night and day difference. So one of the underlying benefits of this weekly podcast, sharing my journey, is I'm constantly looking at, observing my progress over time. And I'm choosing to strategically look back even further to remind myself just how far I've come. I mean, I just broke 100, 6, 7 weeks ago, and that was a couple 99s. It allows me to see that my hard work is paying off, that progress, again, like I kicked off this episode with, progress is taking place. It reinforces me to commit to doing the things that need to be done. Even on those days, I don't fucking feel like doing extra mobility and flexibility and thoracic rotation and this, that, and the other. I'd rather just go swing a golf club. It highlights the importance and the value of doing those little things because they've proven to be catalysts to help me get to where I want to be. So when it comes to you, and as we really begin to come up on the end of your golfing season for 2024, at least for many of you, instead of looking at how far you still have to go to break 90, break 80, shoot par, look at how far you've come. And let me be frank, maybe you reflect back on this year and you're like, fuck, I didn't come very far. how can you view this through a lens of non-judgmental curiosity and get really curious as to why? Was the effort there? Did you take aligned, effective action steps? Did you ignore some of the harder, uncomfortable aspects of the game that you need to work on? Hint, hint, like the mental and emotional aspects away from the course. It's a wonderful learning opportunity when you bring forward this gap in this game concept. And I know it's going to serve you incredibly well on and away from the course. Now, with that said, let's wrap things up. Here's what's on the docket ahead. As you noticed, I didn't actually play last week. I forgot to mention that. We had Hurricane Milton make a wonderful arrival. Fortunately, we were safe. No issues where I'm at. Sending my best wishes out to everybody who was affected. Really, really terrible winds here. And I'm 20 miles north of downtown Tampa and about 35 miles inland. So it was even more destructive, to say the least, around the shore and downtown. So my heart goes out to everybody affected there. Many golf courses, holes are underwater. They're not open. Fleets of carts are ruined. So it's an interesting time in the local Tampa Bay area for golf. It appears that a lot of courses are beginning to open this coming week. So I have a tee time for tomorrow morning and Friday afternoon, 9 tomorrow, 18 on Friday. Got some great practice every day, either putting or hitting into the net in the backyard this week. Things are feeling really good. Excited to really start leaning more confidently into my driver now that I feel that I understand the mechanics I need to be executing. And really what I'm most looking forward to is my next goal is to break 85 from the blue tees 3 times. That is my next specific focus. And this week, it'll be the first time I've played this course from blue. So I'm really just excited about the new distances, the new angles, the new challenges that this adjustment is going to bring. I'm coming in open-minded, completely neutral and curious about what is going to unfold as I show up with confidence and play. I don't know if it's 500 or 900 yards further. I really have no idea, but it's somewhere in there. I have an imagination and looking forward to the challenge and all of the growth and learning lessons this next phase of my journey brings. Well, I thank you so much for listening to another Tuesday recap on my journey where I am at. Still trying to squeeze as much golf in as I can before the little guy comes. And I appreciate you tuning in every Tuesday to follow along, as well as to take action upon what I'm sharing, what it is you are learning to apply to your own game so you too can achieve your goals and play to your potential. If you haven't done so already, if you're finding value in this podcast, hit pause. Open up the podcast listening app, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Take 30 seconds to leave a rating and a review. It means the world to me. It really goes a long way in just putting the show in front of more avid golfers like yourself who are trying to better themselves and play to their potential. I appreciate it. I wish you a wonderful week, and I'll catch you in the next episode.